My name is Morgan Shawtell, and my 2 words are bitter and blessed. Now, I was raised in a church going family for the most part. I was baptized Catholic, and I grew up going to church and learning a lot about church through my mom. Um, but there was a disconnect for me. There was always a disconnect. Um, my mom was new in her faith when I was growing up, and so she didn't know how to teach me um, about God, and I was unreceptive and unwilling, I think, to learn about God. And so I had a lot of really just tough things happen um, at a young age. My parents got divorced, and both of them got remarried, and we're starting new families. My best friend was killed when I was 12 in an accident, and that just shattered my world because I thought, how can there be a God um, who she was the most God loving person I have ever met to this day, and she was gone so young, and I just couldn't imagine there being a God who would wish that upon anybody. And so for a long time, I was so angry and so bitter with God for all that He had put me through at such a young age. And so I went to church, but I never paid attention. And finally, it came time to choose whether or not I could go to church once I got to high school. And I decided, all right, I'm an adult now in my eyes, so I don't need to go to church. I'm not going to go to church. And so that's how I lived my life until I came to Ball State. My freshman year, I lived the typical college experience, wild and crazy. And then my now Bible study leader found me at Jamba Juice during Outreach Week and said, "Hey, do you know about Jesus?" And I was like, "Yeah, well, I guess." And so we sat down and had a conversation, and it really made me evaluate my life and what I was living for and who I was living for. And so I came to the outreach crew that very next day, and I knew some friends who were in crew, and so I sat with her and all of her friends, and I was like so nervous. I was like, oh, God's not going to love me. I've done too many awful things. I'm too angry at God, and God must be angry at me. There's no way. There's no way that this is going to work. And I remember sitting there, and song after song was playing, and I was like, wow, this is my life. Like, I can love God, and God will love me no matter what I do. And that's a great feeling. And so that very day, I accepted Jesus into my heart, and after hearing the gospel and hearing other people's testimonies, I just remember thinking, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to be all in. And so from that moment on, I've been living my life in a Christian way, going to church, reading my Bible, trying to be more like Christ. And because of it, because my faith has grown so abundantly, I am now blessed. And so I am bitter no more, but I am abundantly blessed.